lesson. Right. So the idea was, after being inspired by stream avatars, I wanted to make a similar kind of game where Twitch broadcasters like myself could have this running in the background, and it'd be a fun little interactive thing that people can have. The way stream avatars works is it just kind of sits there and runs. You have avatars you choose. I went for Pokemon because why wouldn't you? But there's not too much in the way of... There is interaction. Like, you've got the Battle Royale and the boss battle. There's like little mini games and stuff, but it's nothing... It's all quite shallow, and it's not me trying to fucking at the stream avatars devs, because it's a very good tool. But it's clearly designed to be that, and that it alone. I want to design something a bit more, gamify it, basically. So, yeah, so I have been working on an extension in the background to connect this game to Twitch. But I've not been streaming that because, A, I'm really learning that kind of stuff, so I don't know what I'm talking about. And also, I don't think it's kind of low-end JavaScript and HTML stuff. I don't think it's as interesting as seeing a game being made. And I'm kind of more familiar with this stuff. So I could stream about it, not have to focus so much on learning and understanding. I can kind of do a lot of this in the background. So, with that in mind, first thing we are going to need to do is... Firstly, I'm going to clean this up a bit. I do not need a villager asset. We need to start designing a basic villager. Now, I'm not an artist, so I pinched some assets from the asset store. In here, we've got some sprite sheets. If I just go through the many folders, idle sprite sheet. I think it's already made an animation. Oh shoot, what that is. And a controller, actually, so... What I'm gonna do is both of those, if it'll let me. Bring them out. Well, I have to do this a more uninteresting way. Because I was fiddling with this earlier. And I was just making sure it was in a working position before I start streaming. Because Unity is actually quite good. So here we have an idle animation, which is larger. Kind of hard to tell, but you've got these images, which they're so small, but they're just 4 images of a little animation. So in fact, I can show you if I just select them all and drag in like that. Unity will automatically let me make an animation, which I've already done, but just to show how easy it is. Name it, idle anim, save it. Got an idle animation. I click on that. Not in the app. If I go to the animation window, I can view it like that. And already, literally the work has been done for us. It's very good stuff that Unity does around this. That's a friend, yeah. It's a friendo. Right, so did already have those there. So we've got an anim file and a controller file. So I am just going to make a folder for animations. With animations, we're going to have, we'll call it and then we'll have animations and controllers. Because if we don't start with a decent file structure, we are going to immediately confuse ourselves. So throw idle into there and the controller into there. Pull the controller. Say proto villager. And the animation is idle. So the controller is, like it sounds, it is just a part of Unity that handles the animation side. So you have your sprite sheet animations. have the system which will cycle those images across. But if you want to transition between them, you need something to manage that. So you have an animator, which is a component. Roller, which is kind of just a fancy flowchart. Oh yeah. So yeah, it's kind of hard to visualize until I start showing you stuff, but there's a lot of stuff here as well that is revolving around fancier animation systems, but ours is going to be fairly simple. So at the start, you'd go from entry into idle. And like that's to do with other stuff. Like if you were to go within really complex states, we won't worry about it too much. But idle is the default state. It uses the idle animation there, and we can back some things. But then what we want to do is have animation for the movie. If we go, that's my own folder I made. So go into the assets and to the run animation. I think if I drag this, won't let me. Right, we'll do that. A run anim. We'll delete that file it created. There's probably a better way to do that, but I don't know off the top of my head. So that. Let's take that into animations. Villager dude. And create a new empty state. Transition to that. So state, if we add the run animation. Then this is pretty much a basic animation state machine. I don't have any logic, so it can't actually work. But the idea is you tell this program through this transition when to move into this running state, and it will do it for you. So we should work on that. So I'm going to need a parameter for this, which is going to be an integer. It's going to be fraction. And then if I can say when this value x direction is greater than 1. Right. So again, something. When it comes to 2D animation, you don't really, especially when it's sprite sheets, you don't want it to have this transition, because this little graph here shows how an animation transitions from the idle to run, which actually I should rename to run. But you don't really want that sprite sheets, because their sprite sheet is literally images, so there's no transition to be had. So we don't want an exit time. Or actually we do. Have the exit time be 0, so it can go straight from idle to run. Should be good. We also want to do, so it needs to be greater than 0 or less than 0. Because X direction is going to refer to whether the villager is going left or right. So if the villager is either going left or right, then the run animation is going to play. So that's on there. Now if I just run this, curious what actually happened. It may just sit there and do the idle animation, which is what I would expect. But I'm trying to scale, that's what I want to do. Just gonna make it real giga. Could just sit there and idle. Right, there we go, idle animation. A little bit fast though. I might slow that down. Nice and easy to do. 2.5 in there. Run it again. Slower. That's still maybe a little bit slow. We'll go between the two. Run again. Pow, we have got a lovely little idle dude. Now we need to tell him to change. Actually, sneaky. And I could actually set that to 1. May do it. Possibly. Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't like me. Let's try just to make sure I can test like this. So... Oh, I know why. I know straight away why, so I can delete that. So those conditions there, that is, in programming terms, that's, if you add more, that's ands. So the conditions have to be, well, the way I said it then, x direction is greater than 0, and x direction is less than 0. For it to transition to run, it would need that to be true in both cases, which, simple logic, that's never going to happen. There is no number that is larger and smaller than 0. So if I do this, then we have got second transition, idle to run, where x direction is less than 0. Set the exit time to 0, and that to nothing. Quickly save that. Doesn't look too great in Unity. But yeah, you got 2 transitions with the 2 logical ways why. It would change, so now if I set that to 1, got a run. There we go. Nice and easy. Now it doesn't go back, so what we would want to do, make transition back again when x direction equals 0. We will set exit time to 0, give it the duration. Go idle, run. Stop and actually looking at that. I want that to be instant, so when it's from there to there, not have an exit time, which means it should just do it at any point. At any point it can transition between the 2, which is going to make it a bit more responsive rather than delayed like it did then. Yeah, there we go. Instantly swaps from one to the other, which is what we want. And same for that. We don't want an exit time on the return trip. Okay, animation controller. That will, with its own logic, set the X direction. And now what we want to do is do that within some code. Okay.